Hello. The Natasha Denona Gloom palette is going to be released on July 17. At first glance, I wanted it. I said, oh, it's an interesting color story. But then I realized that I'm only intrigued by that middle yellowy olive shade. The rest is quite ordinary. Just try to cover that middle shade. And let's reason now about all the colors. The first two shades on the left, a grayish brown and a champagne shimmer. I think these colors are so ordinary, and also the brown is not deep enough, in my opinion, for the way I'm using that type of brown as liner. That desaturation on a brown will look as a faded liner instead of a deep, intense one. Then we have the shimmer, and is a standard champagne shimmer. And I have to tell you, you know that I never liked Natasha Denona shimmers. They emphasize my lines. I'm more and more attracted by those elevated shimmers that I can find, for example, in Chanel. And I told you in my last video about Hourglass that I was not going to buy Hourglass, but I've seen Lexi Young demoing the shimmers by Hourglass. And yeah, also those new shimmer in the curated quads are so elevated. She looked elegant, not over the top. Well, Natasha Denona usually is just the opposite, wants the impact. But I feel like there are better shimmers if you want the impact. For the impact, I would go for the Chinese indies, for example. Those are nowadays better. They surpassed Natasha Denona. So it looks like Natasha Denona did not improve the shimmers that stay the same. And nowadays they are not as great compared to what is available if you look for the extreme shimmer. And then we have that middle shade. I recently purchased the green, the olive green by Lisa Eldridge in her latest palette. That green, since it's the cream to powder formula, can be modulated and sheared out with a natural bristle brush to look like this shade by Natasha Denona. So I'm covered. Then we have more emerald green, and also Lisa Eldridge. The emerald green from the Sorcery palette will satisfy my need of a deep emerald green. I don't love that shimmer formula by Lisa Eldridge, and it will be similar to this Natasha Denona one in terms of how ordinary it is. So it's not my favorite. As I said, my favorite are shimmers that look more elegant because they have a finer milling. But yeah, I'm covered because of Lisa Eldridge. And finally, the pink that I don't understand in this color story. But I mean, Natasha Denona has proposed in the past this color pairing of green and pink, but it's a standard shimmery pink that I have in many palettes. It's something that I can find within my small Natasha Denona collection even, so I don't need an extra pink. Therefore, in conclusion, Natasha Denona is a master in color stories. I think she nailed the layout of the palette to the point that it's always interesting, but a deeper analysis showed me that I don't need that palette, that I have better iterations of these colors in my existing collection. Let me know what you think about it. See you in my next video. Bye.